Guests on Keel heard via the Jack Spring Electric Keel Newsmaker hotline. The latest of those is State Representative Thomas Presley. Hey, Mr. Thomas, welcome back to Keel. How are you this morning?
Good morning. Thanks for having me. I'm doing well.
I noticed on your Facebook page last night that you put a copy of the governor's most recent sort of in-place order, declaration, etc. And you were making the point, and you can expound on that a little bit, that one of the points the governor makes is that this curbside drive-through service only order from the mayor yesterday, that's really in the governor's declaration, isn't it? And it matters. It's in effect for everybody throughout the state.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. The mayor put out his executive order just prior to the governor's order. And so I just wanted to make the point and clear it up for everybody in Northwest Louisiana in particular that follows me on Facebook, that the governor's order also has it. So, we're not only going to have it Shreveport where you have to stay in your car and only have curbside pickup or takeout through a window via drive-through or delivery, but also throughout the area we're going to have that.
So people saying you can just go to Bossier and go in and pick up your food. No, you can't anymore, right?
That's correct.
Okay. My issue right now is kind of what Robert's been talking about throughout the morning is how do we balance this medical crisis with the devastation to the economy? I know you state lawmakers, city leaders, the governor are going to be looking at critical changes. What's the fine balance, Thomas?
That's the $1 million question, Aaron. I think, we certainly want to make sure that our economy doesn't completely get destroyed by this. Obviously, it's been upset significantly by the health crisis, and that's certainly the foremost issue in most people's minds. But as this goes on and, as we get further into April, that certainly is on the mind of lawmakers in Baton Rouge. I was on a conference call yesterday about that and trying to figure out, how we restart the economy and how we make sure that we're not just killing everyone's job moving forward. It's so important that people are able to keep their jobs and make sure that our economy continues to move forward.
With all respect, you being a Republican and a rookie legislator, you may not have the governor's ear as much as others. But I'm sure you've talked to those legislators, advisors, etc., who do. What are they telling you? What are they saying, to the best of your knowledge, about the seesaw that the governor finds himself on, as you said, the pandemic versus the economy?
Sure. Well, 40% of our legislature is new. And so, all of us are kind of, a large portion of us are in that same boat of making sure that we're putting out good ideas and good thoughts and trying to get the governor's ear on it. But on the legislative side, we are trying to walk that fine line as well. There's no question that the health crisis is important. We want to make sure that we slow the curve in order to keep our healthcare system from being overwhelmed. And the numbers that we're seeing are continuing to show increases, obviously, as the virus continues to spread. But we do want to make sure that we do what we can to ensure that the economy can get back on track. There's the federal government has certainly done their part with the CARES Act, with the Paycheck Protection Program, as well as the economic injury disaster loans from the SBA. And Louisiana this week put out the Louisiana Loan Portfolio Guarantee that guarantees loans for up to $100,000 for small businesses with less than 100 employees. Mm-hmm. That has loans that will require no payments for 180 days and allows the loans to be carried out at low market interest rates of no more than 3.5%. So the state is also putting out loan programs for our businesses so that we can try to keep people employed.
What are we going to do about schools? What are you hearing? Anything behind the scenes, or maybe not so much behind the scenes, as far as credit or just the particulars about students whose school years have been ended?
Sure. That's another one that's been a popular question. The governor's Department of Education put out a release yesterday saying that high school seniors will be able to graduate and that everyone is encouraged to continue their distance learning There was a press release, and I actually posted that yesterday morning or early afternoon, talking about that we're working on trying to suspend the need for ACT scores for TOPS, as well as being flexible on graduation, the graduation side. As far as the advancement of students, it's going to depend on the local school districts as to how to implement the rules and make sure that our students are continuing to move forward and to the next grade.
Let me ask you this. We're talking to State Representative Thomas Presley. Mayor Cantrell in New Orleans said this was going to hit her town to the tune of $100 million, drop in their revenues. What do you anticipate for a community like Shreveport? If it's $100 million in New Orleans, are we 10% of that? Should we start preparing for something that large?
Yeah, I mean, I think that that's another one of those questions that unfortunately I don't have the answer to exactly what our estimates are for the loss and revenue, as well as the cost of healthcare system is taken care of. So we're going to see a significant number of dollars that are used for the response to this, as well as a significant number on local and state budgets for dollars lost because of the economic impact. Both local and statewide, our local government and our state government uses the sales tax for a portion of our revenue. Obviously, on the state side, which is what I've been more focused on, you're losing about 4.5% of every dollar spent in tax revenue for the state, as well as losing a significant amount of dollars from the drop in oil prices, which we're continuing to see go down. So there's a significant economic impact, not only for our local businesses and our employees, but also on the state budget and local budget side.